Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the second part of our tier list, where we're gonna rank all the new Pokemon from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'm joined by my two good friends, Tyrosian
What's up?
and Hive
Hey guys, how are y'all?
and we're gonna be ranking the rest of these Pokemon. So if you guys missed the last part, be sure to go watch that on mine and Ty's channel. Links to that will be in the description of this video, and we'll also have it at the end, in a little bit of a playlist. So if you guys want to watch this part first and go back and see why we rank these guys the way that they did, that's also perfectly fine. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
I agree, let's get into it.
Up next, we have Don Dozo, who is pretty solid, honestly.
It is, and also I think it has really good synergy with the sushi Pokemon.
Yeah, they showed that
Tatsugiri.
off in the story.
Yeah, Tatsugiri. And as well, I believe we all beat the main story. I like how the fact they were both counted as the dragon trial thing.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
part
I
of
thought
the
that was
fake Titan.
yeah, the fake dragon or the false dragon type.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, as well, it's a really good Pokemon for double battles if you put it up with Tatsugiri. But alone, it's interesting. It actually scared the living shit out of me when I first played the game.
It's
'Cause I was
definitely a
like,
gimmick Pokemon.
it is.
Yeah, I accidentally stumbled upon it whenever I was trying to find the Titan. I was like, "Where the hell is this thing?" And I stumbled on the Tatsugiri chilling, and then this thing came and fucking ate it, and I thought that was really funny.
that was a great introduction to it, honestly.
It
Agreed.
was.
Also, Unaware, Water Valve, that's also some really good abilities that thing has.
Honestly,
Yeah.
unaware,
Oblivious.
oblivious, tit for tat, kind of the same. It does have
Yeah.
great bulk though, except for the special defense, but it can definitely take a physical attack. Something you can easily hard switch into.
Oh yeah, like a hard switch into like an earthquake or something, which this thing's already gonna resist.
Yeah, I'm sure water
Absolutely.
type's not even the worst type in the world either.
Only weak to grass,
Grass and water.
electric, and freeze
Or
dry.
grass and electric, my bad.
Yeah.
I say grass and
Water.
water. Oh man.
To be honest, I'd actually give this mon if we put it alone, I would put it in a A tier. I mean, in probably like A tier.
I would definitely put it in A. It can definitely be a great standalone Pokemon.
Agreed.
Yeah, I can see throwing it in A tier.
Absolutely. I want to throw it in front of the other form here.
Really?
I want to throw it that high, yes.
Ooh.
I don't know.
No, I think Surledge is a better physical attacker.
You think so?
Yeah, I just don't think it's that good compared to Cerulege.
Agreed.
Fair.
And
What
now
about
for the Sharpedo ripoff?
I would say let's tackle Tatsugiri first because its whole gimmick revolves around being consumed by Dondozo.
Fair. All right.
Skip to it
do
real
Tatsugiri.
quick.
Which that is really its only gimmick.
It is, but I also
Alone?
thought about its second ability, its hidden ability, Storm Drain, and its special attack being 120. If you can hard switch into a water type move and pair it up with or give it the item choice band or scarf, this thing could definitely do some damage, but that's its only saving grace, unless you pair it up with Dondozo.
Yeah, and I mean it's a decent enough mon, right? But it's more of a gimmick than it is really anything else. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone really had that big of an issue fighting it in the game.
Yeah, and I have a feeling as well, it is a good gimmick, but I don't see the fact of needing three separate like
Yeah,
colorations. And here's the
Yeah.
thing, each of these colorations have their own shiny coloration.
That really threw me off.
It did too. Like I found a bunch of yellow ones, like the first of the game, and I was like, "Oh, this must be the regular one." So when I found the orange one, I was like, "Oh, there's a shiny one," and it was just a regular one. And I was
Yep.
pissed off.
I thought that
I
about the
believe-
pink because I saw the orange all over the place.
Yeah, the shiny ones really throw you off. I think even though we gave Dondozo high, I feel like I can put Tatsugiri in B tier.
Yeah,
I feel it's a fair place for it.
I feel that's
I'd
a good
probably
place.
say, um, I would say probably in behind Toad Scroll.
behind it
Yeah, I could see that.
and all of its
That's
forms there.
Yep.
yeah, in no particular order.
Yeah. And
All
now
right.
for the Sharpedo ripoff.
Veluza, the one that threw me off with its typing of water psychic.
I don't know why this thing isn't water steel type.
Good
It
God.
looks too much.
Agreed. And like whenever I like brought it up against the water gym leader, I actually thought it was a water steel type, so I threw out my fighting type to go against it.
I did too. I swapped in my well, it wasn't a fighting type at the time, but I had a fighting type move. My little ducky start or whatever the mid stage is called.
I get that. But
I
like
mean,
when I saw it was resistant, just like what?
Yeah, it was a shock to me.
yeah, the only thing this thing has going for it, 102 in attack, and the rest of its stats are just so lackluster. There's
I
a
feel like
lot.
it has the same stat total as the sushi Pokemon.
It's
Yeah,
like literally everywhere too. Like so many trainers in that game have this Pokemon, so you're exposed to
Yeah,
it like a
it's
lot.
ridiculous. And then its
it is.
fillet away a signature move sharply boosts attack, special attack, and speed by cutting its own HP, I believe, in half. You
So it's
don't
like a
have
belly
that much
drum.
HP or defense to work with. You're wasting a
Yeah,
You're
turn to
just
do
gonna die.
this.
yeah. It's belly drum, but for a weaker Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
you
it's
just
not
don't
even
have the
worth it.
bulk for it.
No, it doesn't. It's not
I
Snorlax belly drum. That's not even
yeah.
close.
Yeah,
I feel like in
yeah,
the DLC it would just be better to add in Sharpedo. I feel like I the highest I could put this thing is in D tier.
really. I was thinking
I
more
don't
like a
think
C
D.
tier.
I would say low C
Yeah, I was thinking
Uh,
like low C,
I'll
something.
go with
Yeah,
low C.
because it's not a horrible design.
It's not a horrible design. The design's really good, but it should be for a steel type.
yeah. It would be a better design if it was a steel type. I would probably put it a little higher in C tier if it was actually a
Past
steel type.
the mid evolutions.
No, no, he was
If
saying
it
if
Oh,
it
was a
was
if it was
steel
steel
type.
type.
yeah.
Yeah, because like it just doesn't look like what it is.
I mean, I wanted to use it, but then I realized once I caught it, it wasn't a steel type. I thought a water steel type would have been cool, but nope.
Yeah, there's not too many of those floating
Got
around. That would have been
bamboozled.
way better. Because there's
Yeah.
so many water psychic types that the bar is a lot higher than what this thing can really reach.
Especially
If
with the
I
first gen, you got Starmie and Slowbro and Slow King.
I actually
Yeah.
use Slow King's Gen 2.
Slowbro was like the pinnacle of water psychic, and then just
Agreed.
seeing ones like these come up in the newer generations, just you don't want to use it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like Gen 1 really had the water psychic thing down because, like, even Staryu, Starmie back in the day were like they were some of the best mons in the game.
They were.
And like even now, like in Let's Go, I used the Starmie and it was really good. Like it was super solid. So like, and this thing just did not feel like it lived up to the that kind of
It
you
did
know.
not.
It was more of
But
an
here,
annoyance than anything.
Yeah, it's just aggravating.
here is something I do believe that actually improves the water typing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, this is a cool mon.
It
It's
was a
actually our
great
very
concept.
first dolphin Pokemon as well.
People were hyped
Yeah,
about it, and I thought it was pretty well executed, honestly, except for the evolution. I mean, this thing gets a
Yeah.
little heart on
it's a
its
big heart.
belly. I believe that visually that's all there is to it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not very
It
different,
gets a
but
tiny
like
bit bigger.
the form though.
The form
0 to
change.
hero. And I love the hero. I didn't use it, but I love it because if you guys know Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a certain deck known as Elemental Heroes, and that is the deck I use, and I love it.
We're just
This,
waiting for that gun Pokemon to exist for us Rocket players. We'll get there.
I believe its hero form has the same base stat total as like Giratina, those higher up
Yeah.
legendaries.
It actually has, I believe, a
Or
higher
no,
base
not that
stat.
high, but 650.
650.
And that's still pretty good.
That is
It's
still
higher than
amazing.
every single pseudo legendary Pokemon.
Pseudo legendary, mythical Pokemon,
Yeah,
it's got that
600.
power. I mean, 160 base attack. That's absurd.
Yeah, I think the hero form alone deserves S tier.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Looking
I
at
think
it separately.
yeah, from the like base forms.
Yeah,
I
I'll go
mean,
below Annihilate.
Below
yeah,
Annihilate,
below an eye. Well,
because of
I
just
don't
the
know, man.
difficulty of getting it.
Is it better
Ooh,
than Meowscarada though?
no, because Masquerada still has protein.
Yeah, protein's just too
True.
strong. Like, I don't think I could rank it higher than Masquerada.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
getting the hero form out there is too much of a hassle to be as viable as
true.
these two.
Agreed.
Yeah,
The
but it's
dolphins,
still
though,
good.
the dolphins being the only dolphin Pokemon we have, I, but also still not like. I feel like the. I actually feel like the evolution would be lower than the base form because I know it has
Yeah,
the
because
harsh and
like
the
It's
little.
so underwhelming.
it just doesn't change much.
No, it doesn't. It's disappointing more so than anything.
I
Yeah, it's
agree.
like not it you could have done something different, I feel like, than just making it slightly bigger and giving it a little heart on its
Something that
chest.
more represents the hero form, if anything.
Agreed. Like
Yeah.
if anything, I would probably put the Finizen, like the first evolution, in A tier, and then this would just be me, but just for probably just adding the heart, I would probably put it in F tier next to Wiglet. It's still a really good Pokemon, but it's just they did horrible with the design. But speaking realistically, I'd probably put it in B tier.
I want to throw
I
it in
don't
low
think it's
C.
yeah, I don't think it's terrible. I feel like a C tier, low B tier is probably like fair.
Yeah, we'll put a low C.
Lower C. I don't want to throw it in D. It's
Yeah.
not just god
Not that
awful,
bad.
Oh yeah,
but
No.
no,
just
but like
the
they should
change.
they should have just made this thing it's like its evolution just lower the base stat total.
Yeah, that would
Honestly,
have been
yeah.
way cooler. That would have been way cooler.
This right here, disappointing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That kind of hurt. I mean, honestly, that was the same vibes as the Dunsparce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine
This
like
wasn't
playing through for the first time, evolving it, and it's like, was that a glitch? Did it actually evolve?
Plus, as well, the way
yeah.
you actually have to evolve this thing is you have to evolve it while in Union Circle with a
That's
friend.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously we can do that, but
Yeah.
like, if you're just like, if you just play
One.
Pokemon solo, because like your friends don't like it or whatever, that's kind of hard to do.
You
Like, you
can't
Yeah.
might be able to find
casually
some people
play.
to do it. Yeah, which like I know the internet's like a big factor now. Like people are like, oh, you can just find friends on the internet or people on the internet to play with. Like, yeah, you can do that, but like if you just want to play casually by yourself or whatever, you can't get this thing, which is kind of annoying.
I mean, that's what happened to me, really. But, yeah. Now we're going to, like, the second most, I think, like, praised Pokemon of the
The one that
generation.
everyone thought was a Badoo regional variant,
He's small.
Smoliv.
Smoliv, which honestly is not a good Pokemon in my opinion.
It's not.
The
It
entire
really
line
isn't.
is it has like it looks very highly presentable and then just underrepresents the grass
It's
typing. It
this
just isn't
region's,
as good.
it's this region's Hoppip.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Smoliv by itself, I enjoy because it's got
Yeah.
a funny name and it's cute. But like, its evolutions are kind of mid. And have you seen its like final evolution's ability?
No, I have not. What's this final
It's
evolution's ability? Does it suck?
it's super terrible. So
it's
like,
not
what's the
good.
worst kind of terrain that you can think of?
The worst type of terrain I can think of is probably grassy terrain.
And
And
there it
that's
is.
exactly what it sets up.
That is exactly
Oh,
it.
Yeah, it just sets up grassy terrain, and that's like
That
the
is all
worst
it
kind
does.
because like it heals your opponent's Pokemon too. It heals you, but your opponent's gonna get the benefit too. So like, why even have it?
I agree
I
with
mean,
that.
like Harvest is a good ability. Don't get me
It's
wrong.
not bad.
But it's also its hidden ability.
Yeah, so like you're not very likely to get it, and then you're more likely to get Seed Sower, which is like it's a neat ability in concept, right? But
Yeah.
in practice,
Like
it's super terrible.
if you
Was
want to use this for like a grassy terrain team, you could, but
Just don't
they
do a grassy
I mean,
terrain team, honestly.
I know, but like they really shut that down because they got rid of Rillaboom's signature really bad.
yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
only thing that you could really do with this is put this on a sun team and have it give it a berry. That way, like, we'll be able to 100% get that berry back, use it again. But this speed right there, along with
That
that
is
special attack, that's not gonna work.
not at
Yeah.
all.
That is not gonna work at all in the slightest.
It's just not a good mon at all.
It's
Uh,
not.
I would I would definitely rank Smoliv higher than its evolutions though.
Where would you want to put him, Dark, with if you had to pick?
I would put Smoliv in A tier.
A tier.
Like
Yeah, I would argue that it's just like Lechonk
yeah,
in the regard
it
that
is a
it's just.
lesser Lechonk. I feel like it does belong in A tier, but probably behind Fuecoco.
I think so. Yeah, I could put it behind Fuecoco.
I'm okay with that.
Definitely.
But it's mid and
It,
final evolution.
mm,
They're just not as
I
good.
would.
they,
I'd put them. I would put them both in D tier. Honestly.
All the way down there.
uh,
Yeah, I would.
yeah, D or F tier. That's how I feel.
They're
I
just
can't.
bad.
No, I can't see ever using this. I can't imagine wanting to use this in any scenario. I mean,
Axel's gonna be pissed. He loves this Pokemon.
He does love this Pokemon, but like it's
grass and
not
normal type
good.
is just not a
Well,
good typing.
yeah, it gains the fighting weakness.
And like Smoliv's good. I'm not arguing that Smoliv's like not a good design and the name isn't cool, but like its evolutions just aren't it. Like I would put them in D tier. I really would. I don't think they're like unusable or like I hate them completely, so I wouldn't put them in F. But like
Yeah, that's a good area for me.
I feel like they're better than Oinkologne at least.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that little fucking pepper chicken pisses me off.
It does
Every
not have
single
the right
time.
vibes.
Also, I wonder how does this thing, a little green chicken, evolve into a pepper dinosaur?
I don't know. It is a weird evolution, isn't it? But it's got a unique typing, so
It
It
like
does the
does.
first ever fire grass type,
It
which
is
is
definitely interesting to say the least.
it is
yeah.
really good if you think about it.
Plus, dear God, it has the Moody ability. That's hilarious.
Moody
Yeah, Moody's really good.
Skullivan is a really good mon, I believe. Look at
Yeah,
his
Oh,
shiny
its
though. Look at
shiny
his.
is hilarious. Like, what
that's
the
I
fuck
like
is
it.
that's
going on there?
horrendous.
It's pulling
Oh
up its pants.
man.
It has the
It's,
scrappy treatment.
it's so weird, dude. Like, why? Like, look at it. It's just goofy.
Ooh, I like it like it turns into a fire type because you use this grass type with a firestone.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's a
I
great
like its name,
concept.
too. Like Scovillain. It's like Scoville, like the units of heat and villain mixed together.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I like that.
It is, and it has honestly, it does have a solid moveset.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it's not bad by any means.
And then
I was considering
108,
using this thing.
it can be a mixed attacker, or
Ooh.
108 in both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just gotta say, imagine running this thing on a sunny day team. That would be really good.
That would be
that would
great.
be real.
Because this thing also has chlorophyll.
It does, and it's got
You wanna
access to
you
solar beam. It's got access to what else? Flamethrower, which will be powered up in there. It'll be great.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
it'd be
yes,
really strong.
you would rather have Moody on the thing, but if you had chlorophyll, I would definitely see this thing on a lot of sunny day teams.
I mean, if you wanted to do a sunny day team, like this is probably one of your prime candidates to chuck in there. You know, like it's a fire and grass type. That's like a match made in heaven for a sunny day team.
It
Agreed.
is, but I feel like its signature move is the biggest waste of time anyone's ever seen.
What is the signature move?
Spicy extract boosts the sharply boosts the target's special physical attack while also sharply lowering its defensive stat.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that.
But with
Yeah,
its
that's not like that.
defenses, what is it gonna do?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like I guess if you're going up against a special attacker, it's good, but like you can't bank on that.
No, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure with that move.
So
Yeah,
so the little one, I would actually probably throw it. I think I'd throw this thing in B tier. I'm just not a fan of it.
I
I'm
think
not the
that's a
biggest
good.
fan.
Like I feel like B tier is fine for it. It's not like my favorite by any means. I think it's okay.
Yeah, right there's good. But being the first ever grass fire type has to go in S tier.
I wouldn't throw it in S.
Yeah, I don't think I'd throw it in S either. I'd put it in.
It's
I'd put
definitely
it in
A.
A for sure.
Okay, A I think above King's Gambit. Then how about that?
King Gambit.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd put it above King Gambit. I would put it above Sarah Ledge though.
Okay.
That seems legit. I can do that.
Yeah, I don't
I can
think
agree
it's
with
better
that.
than King Gambit.
So these Pokemon.
I don't have much to say about these,
Uh,
honestly.
Man,
I know that
I'm-
one thing is that the shiny on Tambold is horrible, but Bellybulb
Oh my
looks
gosh.
amazing.
That's
yeah, it's
lame.
just, yeah.
Look at Bellybulb shiny though.
It becomes bright.
Yeah.
bright,
And
bright
also
yellow.
like the
Okay.
little thing on its sides aren't its eyes, and that like threw me
I
off
heard
so
about
many
that.
times.
It throws me off super bad still,
It
Yeah.
does.
It like
It's so weird.
especially on its shiny. Like, look at that.
Because then
yeah.
you can barely see its actual face. I mean,
Yeah,
you can see in the picture off to the right hand side here, its mouth is slightly open, it's smiling, so you can tell that is the actual face. These
Yeah.
ear muff type things, maybe ears, aren't the actual eyes.
yeah. I don't like that. I think that's a bad design aspect of it.
Same here. I don't like it either. But like even it's like nice to have a new frog Pokemon though.
Yeah, it's neat. It's definitely not bad.
Definitely not. And
I
its
don't hate it.
It's a
are
mixed
interesting
attacker.
to look at.
It's a mixed attacker, but more of a defensive bulk.
It is
Yeah,
not a
it's a
mixed
bulk
attacker,
type.
it's special attacking.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh yeah.
it's physical
It's
attacking
got
with
64
64.
in physical.
I misread that. But
I mean, the
yeah.
only
I
thing holding
mean
it back is its speed, which is only 45, but it does have good bulk,
true.
Yeah, like
It
it can
has the
take a
bulk
hit or
to
two.
it has the bulk to back it up.
which helps with its ability when it takes damage, will charge the next electric type move.
Oh yeah. So
That's pretty
it's
solid.
like the chargeability, but a lot better.
Right.
I feel
Well, I'm not
uh
sure if it's better than charge, actually.
I don't think so.
It just says charges up. I can't tell what the percentage is.
I mean, surely it's like it surely acts just like charge, right? Like the wording is
No,
similar.
I don't think it is because of the fact charge automatically gives you a crit to your next electric type move.
I don't think it's crit. I think it just
Yeah,
boosts the power.
it
Yeah.
just boosted it by like 25% or something like that.
But this is interesting because you can take damage, but also set yourself up using a different move,
True.
guaranteeing your
Yeah,
next attack doing some serious damage.
That is true.
that is true.
I think for that alone, I feel like Talbulb, I have to probably put that thing in C tier.
Oh, the
Like the
pre-evolution?
little one. The yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a big fan of it either. I think C tier's like fine.
Yeah. I think right there is good. And
I
Belly
don't
Bulb,
absolutely hate it.
yeah, I don't hate
No.
it either.
Because it reminds me of
Belly
Poliwag, but not as cute.
it is.
Yeah,
That's legit what I get the feeling of. Belly Bulb, I believe, all belongs in B tier.
In B,
I feel like high B, like
Yeah.
maybe
high
up
B,
above the Masquerada. Yeah, probably like number one up there for now.
it's going to
Yeah.
be A, like at the bottom for me, or B.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
right
feel
there.
like top of B is probably where I would have it.
All right.
Now the car Pokemon, the
These
engines.
are just the not. When I look at these, I don't think Pokemon, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not
I
a big
didn't.
fan of these either.
Well, the one thing you do have to think about them, I believe they're the first ever steel poison types,
They are, to my
They are.
knowledge, yes.
which that is really good. The bad thing is that it has an X4 weakness to ground.
Yeah, I mean, but that was gonna happen with any poison steel type, so like you can't really fault them for that.
Yeah.
Levitate.
But I find this hilarious.
It has slow
Yeah,
start.
It has slow start as
the
its
only
hidden
Pokemon that
ability.
has Regigigas. That's hilarious.
I
That's
don't know
amazing.
why its hidden ability is slow start.
I don't know, but
I
imagine
guess
finding that in
his
the
engine.
wild.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
It's an engine that stalls.
Yeah, it's like it's that's the joke.
Okay, but Revavroom does have a great hidden ability in Filter, reducing super effective moves by 25%. That's amazing, honestly.
That is pretty
That
good.
is pretty good.
That gives it much more survivability while not having the greatest of defenses or bulk, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I believe Shift Gear boosts attack and then raises its speed. So you can definitely be able to set up with this Pokemon.
I feel like
Should be a good
this thing
setup.
should have gotten speed boost.
It would have made a
should've.
lot of sense. I don't understand how you
Should've.
give a car
Yeah, because
slow start and then not speed boost as its evolution.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also I like to point out that the Team Star bases, I believe a couple of them had speed boost.
As the boss one, the actual giant one.
The like that bus thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think that one. I think one of them did have speed boost. Interestingly
I feel
enough,
like yeah, I feel like that's true.
I'm not sure if
Yeah.
that's 100% true, but
Yeah, I
I
can't
feel like it
remember.
was.
I do too. It might be like a Mandela effect thing, but like I feel like
Yeah,
that's right. I was thinking about it and I was like, is that right? There's no way, right? And then I was like, yeah, actually, I remember that.
it's not
Yeah.
impossible because they were all different types, weren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all different types.
Yeah.
The tiny one, just for slow start, I think F tier.
I mean,
I don't
I don't,
really like it.
I don't, I think it goes below Toro. I don't think it deserves F, but it's. I can't give it
Fair
anything else.
enough.
Yeah, not F. I can't think of
Yeah,
anything really
You
yeah,
good
can't think of
about it.
anything good for this thing because the only thing that's good is that it's really good against fairies.
yeah.
That's it,
I
If you
which
mean,
want
is
a hard
that is
fairy
good.
counter, this is it.
Yeah.
yeah, I just don't like the Swan at all very much. Like,
I
I would never really want to use it for anything.
I saw this thing floating around in the overworld, and it felt like one of those weird um
Like
creatures
mod.
from like Alice in Wonderland, just things that just
Yeah.
existed but didn't make any sense.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
feel
felt like
like
it was like a modded Pokemon, like something fake somebody just threw into the game.
yeah, the
Forever Room
car
though,
D tier.
B,
And not no, like low C, high D.
low C, high D, really.
Like I still
I
don't
mean, it's
really.
got a good ability, but like I
Yeah.
don't know anything else about it. Like honest, I just wouldn't use it. I never would.
I don't know. I would stick it in at least higher C because it does have potential.
Okay, I'll give it higher C.
I could put it in like mid C.
I want to
Uh,
put it at least above the evolutions, and then these two
Yeah, I mean,
because I don't think it's a
it's
bad
not a
mon.
bad. It's not. I just don't personally like have. I just don't like it. I don't
It's
know.
definitely not
I really
appealing.
just
I will give you that. It is not appealing
yeah.
as a Pokemon at all.
I just dislike it. I struggle to put it very high in any like one of these tiers just because of my bias towards just disliking it. I think it sucks, like design
yeah.
wise.
No, Earthworm.
I honestly want to give it at least B because of its potential. I mean, it gets rid of a weakness and then turns it into a healing factor. You can put
I
this
mean,
thing
it's
in
really
doubles
great.
with a super powerful physical attacking Garchomp and then just heal. That's absurd.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, Earthworm here has Earth Eater, which is basically the Earth version of Water Absorb, which allows it to heal up damage whenever hit by an Earth move.
By
It's just
25% of its
From
it's the
maximum
only one
HP.
that has it too, which is like
yeah,
pretty good.
that
It's a
is really
signature
good.
ability.
Nod for it. Yeah, that's a good nod for it. I'm sure other mons will get it in the future as we get into more generations. But like for now, that being the only thing, the only ability, the only mon that has that ability, like that's good.
It
It
will, and like it would definitely go on like sand teams. I bet. I believe.
definitely.
Yeah, because it's not gonna get buffed by the sandstorm either, and sandstorm's already like probably the best
Oh,
competitive weather team.
agreed. Also, it does have Sandville if like for some reason you run one with Earth Eater and one with Sandville, but I highly believe you'd rather have Earth Eater.
Yeah.
Yeah, Earth Eater's just better, and
But
a steel type's pretty solid too. You know, the steel
it's
typing's
pure
always
steel,
good.
yes.
Yeah,
But
I
with the
feel like yeah,
combination of that and then its physical defense being the only really appealing part about its stats period, I can't give it higher than B.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like B's fair.
B's fair. Yeah, I'll say a B above. I put it above the Grass Starter.
Yeah, I would too.
Above
I
it,
feel like high B is good for it.
These things kind of disappointed me.
I don't know how to feel about these things. Its
I
population
don't
bomb
know.
move is hilarious.
They're pure
Yeah,
normal types, by the way. They're
They
not even
are.
normal ghost types.
yeah.
The evolution method is interesting. I actually never got one, even though they're at the
They just
right level
randomly
to
bang and
evolve.
then create an extra one. That's where the stat boost comes from.
This is
Yeah.
legit. But also, an interesting thing we talked about. This, you know that like population bomb we talked about off camera. That is this thing's signature move.
And it can hit up to 10 times
Yes.
with a chance to flinch.
Yes.
And then
It's
boosted
pretty
by
good.
Technician. That's
Yes.
absurd.
Yeah, that's a good like thing to do for it, but like isn't that it's basically its only trick?
It's his only thing it
It's
can
a
do.
one trick pony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the
I
only
Also,
thing it
also
can
think
it
do.
looks like
I don't
A
know if you
lower
guys have
base than
seen it,
total.
but like I think it's super adorable how whenever they move, the little babies hold on to the parents' tails
I've
whenever they're
seen that.
moving.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
While they're
Yeah,
just bouncing.
adorable.
It's
Uh,
I don't know. I want to put it in lower B because it's just that's kind of all it has going for it.
Yeah, I can agree with the lower B tier ranking.
no, put it behind Spidops.
Because you got that one trick, but when that one trick, you know, when you
Runs
have
out.
a ghost type, when you have a steel type in front of you, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
You got
horrifying.
nothing
Yeah,
else to do.
even a fighting type, really. Like,
If you get
you
outsped by a
know,
fighting type, you're done.
yeah, that's it.
Now for this boy.
Sedaddle and Said Titan. I think these might be my favorites of the generation,
They're
honestly.
good. They're
The
really
Titan.
cool.
Okay, before talking about anything, so Titan just deserves S tier off the bat.
Absolutely. I mean, it won the
Yeah,
ability lottery. It has the best abilities that you can pick from. Where
it's
is
just
it?
awesome.
There it
I
is.
I enjoy this Pokemon a lot too. Its shiny is really cool. I
Oh yeah,
think.
I
Exactly.
agree with
Yes.
that. I
Just look
like
at
the
that.
I like it. I like the contract with the black and the orange.
And then its
Yeah,
defenses not they're like very mediocre, but it's got 170 HP. Not as much as Pokemon like Blissey, of course, but it does have quite a bit of survivability with that HP stat.
Oh yeah, it has enough survivability to take a hit, especially with
yeah,
it's one of its main weaknesses, fire, being severely nerfed because of thick fat.
Because of thick fat.
yeah.
And that
Thick Fat is pretty solid of an ability at base too, because like most time, whenever you see an ice type, you're gonna pivot into a fire type. It's just what you're gonna do. It's just natural. Fire melt ice. So like
right.
having Thick Fat as the ability is pretty good to mitigate that.
The thing is, this Pokemon you cannot know because there's different ways that you can play this Pokemon. You can have it with thick fat. You can have it be able to withstand a fire attack, or you can be aggressive with it. Use sheer force. But if they set up with spikes or any other hazards, you can use Ice Spinner. But the opponent will not know. They have this A Titan, but how are they gonna play it? They could have sheer force, Ice Spinner, may not be effective at all. Or they might be using a thick fat one and the ice spinner they may be using the Say Titan as the ice spinner, the hazard removal Pokemon.
Or if they're one of the crazies, they could use it on a snow team with the slush rush ability.
With Slush
Yeah.
Rush.
If you're really like nutty.
Yeah,
I mean just the amount of things that you can do with this Pokemon honestly is one of my
there's
favorite things about it.
yeah.
It's
That
just
thing
super versatile. Like, and
it
it's
does it is.
unpredictable.
It goes definitely an S tier. I
Absolutely.
think below
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 Houndstone.
yeah below Houndstone. I believe that.
I want to put it above Houndstone.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Honestly,
I agree with above
its
Houndstone.
versatility can be
It's
astounding.
super buff, but yeah, Houndstone just is kind of a one-trick pony. Its one trick is super strong. It's
Right.
just kind of hard to rank. I feel like Satitan being so versatile is probably a good spot, uh, in up there. It's a good mon. It's super great.
I mean, even
Agreed.
I use Skeldridge, and honestly, I think Said Titan would go above Skeldridge in my opinion.
Interesting.
In my personal
That
opinion, I
is
did like
interesting.
it.
It does have the ability to take away the fire weaknesses, which Armarouge and Skeledirge. But I feel like Skeledirge and Armarouge would still be above it.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's better than Skeledirge, personally.
All right,
Oh.
It's pre-Evo. I mean, Citoddle's adorable.
it is
Satao's really
gosh
I
darn
like I
adorable.
like the tiny tooth it has.
If we're
Like that
throwing it
Yeah,
one
an
tooth.
A, it's going above the rest of them
yeah. I'm down with that.
Yeah,
I can
I'll
easily.
agree with
I can
that.
agree.
I
I'm
saw
down
this
with
thing
that.
in the trailer, my heart, man, and then I found out how good it
Yeah.
was. Oh, I was done.
Yeah, it's
Now
really good.
now we got this pseudo the legend of the game, Baxcalibur.
I
Ice
think this one is
Dragon.
super cool.
Yeah. Ice it's our first
Where is
this is
it?
our first Ice
There it is.
Dragon Pokemon outside of Kyurem.
Yeah, and it's our first non-legendary one,
Yeah.
which I think is super cool. I like this typing a lot for this mon.
It
I like
is
it too.
it's definitely interesting. It gets rid of that dragon weakness to ice types while also losing the resistance to fire types.
It does.
Yeah.
It also loses the resist. It gains like the resistance of electric. Uh, the only thing I can really see hitting this thing is fairy types and ice,
Yeah.
because ice
Yeah.
types reduce ice type. So the only thing that's actually super effective against this thing is ice types.
Well,
I
and
mean, not
fighting
fairy
types.
types. Fairy types and yeah,
Yeah.
fighting types.
And
I
fighting
forgot about those.
types.
And ground types.
No, that would be
Well,
rock.
ice is kind
Rock
of
is
a
also
crippling
its.
type, but
Mm.
like still.
Have you seen it use its signature move?
Yes.
It is hilarious.
I've
It
not.
reminds me of the Godzilla meme where it just
Yeah.
attacks on its tail just sideways. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's so dark. Basically, the thing just turns around, shoots like a thing of like breath at it, and launches its back towards its opponent.
Damn. Okay. I think its shiny's kind of shit though. Like, look
Yeah,
at that.
it
No,
continues its
it's
trend.
got that it
It got the
reminds
guard
me
stomp
of
vibe.
Garchomp, yeah.
Yeah.
Thermal
That's
exchange
unfortunate.
though, great ability. Ice
Yeah.
body, solid. If you want to
Yeah.
God dang, pair it up with say Titan on the team.
Hey, the snow
Yeah.
team.
All
I mean,
right.
on a snow team, yeah. I mean, there you
Glaive
go.
Rush though. Reckless charge attacks opposing Pokemon. It's
It has a major downside, but with its
yeah,
attack stat,
Yeah.
but it's absurdly strong.
yeah, it's
Like, if
absurdly
you're
strong.
outspeeding everything and one hitting it though with that move, like, what's that matter?
That
You,
is true. That's like that. That's the one thing. But
I
if
mean
it does somehow survive a hit,
the thing is you
you
can just
better hope that thing
easily
can survive.
you can hard pivot around this drawback and use protect.
True.
Yeah.
That's really
True.
the only thing you can do unless you want to
Wait,
get one tapped.
can this thing actually learn protect?
I mean, every Pokemon can learn Protect, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh
right
yeah, here
there.
it is. Oh yeah, so yeah, no, then this is a perfect combo for it.
It's a great combo.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's the
But as
only
well,
combo if you're using Glaive Rush.
well,
Yeah.
we could also pivot around the protect and bring out a Pokemon more suitable to take out back Excalibur.
True.
I mean, yeah, but like it's too juicy not to try and KO it on the next turn. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed, I agree with that. Back Excalibur, the final Evo, I actually believe it does belong in S tier, or at least high A.
I mean, it's a pseudo legendary. It's got the stats. It's got the
It has a signature
survivability.
move.
It's got solid
Yeah,
abilities. Yeah.
absolutely. At least above Tinkaton
Think
there.
it done.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a pseudo. It's got to go in S tier,
Yeah,
surely.
possibly
Yeah.
above Houndstone there.
Uh, I think I like it
Um.
above Tinkaton. Not
Above
Yeah, I
S
like it
Tinkaton
tier.
above
instead?
Tinkaton. Not above Houndstone. I feel like Houndstone's too good to like have it go above. Like Houndstone's just kind of nutty.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
And
you
the
have to be
middle
really good to go
one,
above.
Its middle evolution is. I actually really like it.
the
It
middle
looks
evolution,
good.
it looks like a Spinosaurus. I like that.
I mean, it's. I think it's a very well designed middle stage evolution. Honestly, one of my favorites.
Yeah, one of the best.
Agreed. I
It's a
think
solid Pokemon.
the middle stage will belong in A tier just for the design alone. Probably, I would put it below Smoliv, to be honest, though.
Below Smoliv.
Really.
Yeah, that's just how I feel though. But
I
if
don't
you
know. I
guys have
feel
See
any,
it
above
going behind.
Sedaddle.
I feel like behind Citadel.
Behind it. All right.
Yeah.
This
and
It's a
this,
thing
good like
kind of disgusts
mid
me though.
point. I think he's kind of funny. He's a
I think
goofy
it's
guy. Look
cute.
at him. Look at his little face.
I like the little tassels it has in its hand, like he's like playing with it. I ran into like the one that has the dark type, terror type, and I thought
Yeah.
that thing was like it was like so adorable. I like the
He's a
little
funny little
nose.
guy. He's kind of cute. I do like him.
I don't know. I feel like this man's
Either
seen some stuff.
He looks like it,
yeah,
doesn't he?
I'll say lower like end of A, or I can go end of A or behind Earthworm B.
Behind Orthworm.
I
Yeah.
kind of am feeling that too. Yeah, I
All
think
right.
that's probably a good spot for
I
it.
agree with it being at least in B.
Yeah, I don't know about A, but like it's still solid. I like it. I don't dislike it by any means.
All right,
Cyclizar.
Cyclizar though. Honestly, one of my it's one of my
Yeah.
favorites, but it's a bit lackluster in terms of performance in battle.
I just don't really like. I like it because of the lore. It's like, oh, it's either a future or past version of the legendary from your version, which is
Yeah.
neat. I think that's pretty cool. But like, I don't know. I just didn't really like
I like how
want
they
to use
actually.
it.
I like how like people like thought that people were going to get like the Nebby treatment that we actually like run into a Cyclizard and then we evolve it into the box art legendaries.
See, I would have liked it more if we did that. Like, because otherwise, it just kind of feels like underwhelming. Because if it would have evolved into the legendaries, I think it would have been a pretty cool Pokemon.
Well, the lore behind it is that it's that, center stage, the equivalent of what Donphan is right now. It's our present day variety
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
version.
a present day iteration of the Pokemon, and I get that.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It's solid, but it
I
should
would
have
have
evolved into the
I
legendaries, in my
I
opinion.
do believe if they just made an item that allows you to like evolve your Pokemon into the past or present form, that would be perfect for
I feel
Cyclizar.
like either that
Yeah,
or
like a
changing
one-off
its
item.
form, kind of like
Yeah.
how the what is it, the genie trio change form
Yeah.
Yeah.
and essentially become different Pokemon. I feel like that could have been done with
So
Cyclizar.
it has lackluster stats. The one thing I believe going for it is its decent attack and its above average speed.
I mean, it's got Regenerator.
It
That's
does
a
have
good build.
Regenerator, so if you
And
want to
also
do
Shitskin.
something, you got, yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
that's shiny
Sheskin
though.
is not as good.
Look at that thing.
It's pretty cool. It reminds me of those little like lizards that like run on two legs with the big like
Yeah.
what a Helioptile is based off of. It reminds me of that for
Ah,
some reason. I kind of like it.
I like that.
But the thing
But
is, with you got Shedtail and then Regenerator, so you can hard swap, and then it'll be okay. But that's kind of all you got going for it because you can't really set
it's a
up, you
one-trick
can't do much
pony.
else.
Yeah, it's just mediocre, really.
You
Like it's terrible.
Because if your
I'm
Pokemon
probably
goes down, you might be able to send it out, get a quick finish. They send out a counter to Cyclizar, but then you can shed shell into a Pokemon that can take out that one.
true.
That's the only
Yeah,
scenario I can see it being used in battle.
it's like a
Same.
middle like kind of pivot type Pokemon. It's not the
Yeah,
worst that I've seen.
it's not even a hard pivot, it's just a quick pivot.
That
Yeah,
if I had to put this thing somewhere, I'd probably put it B B tier below above Spidops. That's how I would think I would put it.
Above Spidops? Well,
Yeah, but that's just
I want
me.
to put it
Like
above. I want to put it below Tatsugiri.
I can get that.
yeah, that's like not a bad spot for
Because you,
it.
you can use this. It does have some viability. It's
It's
just not
definitely
as
better than the
good.
bugs.
Yeah.
Like that's for sure.
Right. And to be honest, I have nothing don't know how to talk about that Pokemon, but I know someone here does.
Palmot. I think it was good. I mean, electric fighting, it has absurdly strong physical attack and I believe very high speed. Yeah,
Yeah,
115, 105. It's not the fastest, but it will beat out base 100 Pokemon, which is quite a lot.
it will get off the revival blessing.
Yeah,
And you got Revival
having
Blessing.
electric's like a cool type.
I don't understand how Revival Blessing will work in competitive though. I don't know how they're going about that. But it does
Um,
have in other terms, it's got Iron Fist as its ability, so it can definitely
ooh,
utilize
That's
that.
solid.
it also
Yeah.
has Volt
Does it know
Absorb if
drain?
you
Can it
want
learn
to.
drain punch?
Yeah, look
I
on Palmon.
believe I don't think so
Oh,
actually.
yo, that
It's got a
red.
solid shiny too.
Solid shiny, pink, it got
Yeah.
sunburnt.
It's like me, get sunburnt way too easy.
Right?
I'm
I
not
don't see
seeing
Drain
it.
Punch.
Man, if it had drain punch, that would be
It can
really good
learn
with
Mach
Iron
Punch though
Fist.
as an egg move.
Yeah,
Ooh,
That's
Mach
pretty
punch is
cool.
good.
I mean, Mach Punch is really good.
Yeah, you
Mach
can't go wrong with Mach punch.
Punch, Iron Fist, along with it being a stab move, that's gonna hit pretty hard.
Thunder
Oh
punch
yeah,
too, being a stab move. Iron Fist, that's pretty
Thunder
good.
Punch, Fire Punch.
Yeah, for the coverage.
Yep. Although I believe it's got double shock. I'm not sure if that's affected by Iron Fist, though. Plasma
Uh,
Fist, no, it does not.
That's unfortunate.
Although with the power of Double Shock, and you can use it um, to some advantage because you will lose the electric typing during battle after you use it,
ooh, that is actually
Yeah.
that is decent. So that way, just in case you run into a ground type. Well, like not
right?
really a ground type, but something that that will hit you hard has like a ground type move. Use
Yeah,
double
something with
shock to get
coverage.
rid of
Right.
it. Because if you try to use it against a ground type, it's not
It's
gonna
not gonna
work.
work.
Right.
But like maybe if you know that your opponent's gonna swap into a ground type after you kill whatever they have out, then you could just use that to burn your electric typing off, and then whenever they switch into the ground types, that could be super effective.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I feel
that
like with the revival blessing alone, it belongs in B tier.
I think it has more versatility than that. I think it could go in
Agreed.
I
A.
think it deserves A tier.
I
Yeah.
know. I mean, on altogether, I believe A tier, but just for revival blessing alone, belongs in B tier.
Oh wow. Um,
Uh,
I definitely want to
A.
put it above Skull Villain.
I can get behind that. I think that's
Yeah,
fair.
and
It's a good mon.
It is. It's
the first
solid.
the first stage I believe is really cute,
It
It
is.
is.
but then the mid evolution one's one of those weird teen ones. I could put the teen one probably behind the second stage Play Coco.
I want to
Uh,
honestly. I want to put it next to the Dolphin.
I can get that.
oh. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, when I evolved this thing, I didn't realize it actually evolved. I
It
saw
just
it.
put
I thought
up.
it was a visual glitch. I
You thought
saw
it was
almost
a
no different. It got puffier. That's what
Yeah,
happened.
it did.
Yeah.
And then the first stage, I believe, with how cute it is, I think B tier just for the how cute it is.
I want to put it above little homeboy right here.
Yeah,
Arcadet.
that's fair. It's fair enough. Char
Uh,
cadets
Charcadet. Yeah,
above Char cadet. Yeah, that's fair. I can get behind that. That's cool.
I thought this
Now
next
this thing
Pokemon
is
was
fun.
supposed to be a regional Swallow, and it should have
I
been.
it should
I
have been
think it's
honestly.
super cool. I love this thing. Like I
I
was
do
gonna use
too.
it on my team, but I ended up using
Toxtricity.
Noivern instead and Toxtricity. Yeah, I as soon as I saw Toxel, that was all bets were off at that point.
Raises special attack by 2 stages whenever stat is lowered. That's honestly awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah, like
That's a
And
imagine
does it have. Ooh,
like
learn.
intimidating that and then
See, this thing has close combat.
and it's also got wind power. I didn't boost. Wow, I
Boost
I had
power
no
of
idea that was
Relish.
an ability. Honestly,
Yeah,
yeah,
look to see
okay.
this thing has close
It's a
combat.
signature ability. Looks like.
close combat.
Yeah.
Why
Ooh,
would this thing have close combat?
why does
Why
Staraptor
would
have close
Staraptor have
combat?
close combat?
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, it doesn't look like
Dang.
it because I don't think that's a
Does it have
TM.
any moves that lower its stats?
I don't think so. I think it's like if you want to,
Well,
like if
no,
you
no. I
want.
think it's only when the opposing Pokemon force lowers its stats
Ah,
So and so you want
that's a
because
to
that would be
cool timing.
Defiance.
you do want
What
to.
ability you're thinking of?
I think you want to put up against an intimidate user.
Yeah,
In double battles,
that
this
is
thing would actually
something.
be a menace because Intimidate is very prominent in double battles. So sending
100%.
this
Yeah,
thing out with uh against your opponent who's gonna use an Intimidate user, that's gonna
Yeah.
screw them.
yeah, because it should make this thing stronger.
And this thing
Uh,
has very, very good speed and
Special. It has
special
really good
attack.
speed and special
Yeah,
attack. So run this thing with like a electro ball or something.
Is great. And then you can't go wrong with
Volt absorb.
Volt Absorb. And
yeah,
then you can
Volt
set
Absorb's
up.
always good.
You can set it up with a Tailwind user.
Yeah. Wing bolt storm.
Yeah, I mean you could probably even use Tailwind on it. I'm sure it learns it.
I'm sure it's
It
able
does.
to.
It's right
It's a
there.
flying type. Well, no,
Yeah,
this is the moves that get affected by wind
wind
power.
power.
Or I mean, this is the moves that affect wind power.
Yeah. But like I was saying before, I feel like this thing would have been like a cool nod to Talo and Swellow because if you guys have seen the Pokemon anime, the Hoenn anime, Pikachu hits Swellow with Thunder and Swellow
Yep,
gets Thunder armor.
Ah, yeah,
I
I
thought this
remember
would have been
that.
a cool nod to it.
I remember that
I
being
mean,
so
like
dumb.
I like it being a standalone Pokemon though, because like it's in the same vein as Swellow, because we don't have many two-stage like
Bird types.
Route One quote unquote birds, because like it's like Hoot Hoot, Noctowl, Swallow, Tailo, and then these guys. I think
Mm,
is the ones.
I
I
didn't
mean,
think much of
yeah,
it at
that's
first,
fair.
but looking at it
Firo.
competitively, it's actually
Oh
amazing.
yeah, yeah. I love this thing. I want to use it at some point. It's such a good one.
Yeah. Kilowattrel, A tier.
I want to throw it above, easily above the giraffe
I think
rig
I'd
evolution.
prefer Farafrig above it, but
Really?
I
it's
don't
up for
know.
dark
I
now.
agree with Michael. I think putting it at the very tippy top's pretty good shout for it.
I
I
mean,
think it
then
deserves
Because
it.
in singles, I don't think it can do much on its own, but doubles, I believe I'm gonna predict that this thing will be very prominent in double battles.
and the smaller one, I can actually also see it in A tier, probably just a below Tinkatink.
That
Below
also sounds
Tinkatink,
pretty good to me.
Yeah,
I can
right
agree with
there.
that one.
It's pretty solid.
Bombeardier.
Bombardier,
Verb.
the
It
bird.
is a flying dark type.
We have another bird. Is it flying dark? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Flying dark, yeah.
It is. Huh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just pure flying or flying rock maybe.
It would make sense for Flying Rock because in its learn set, it knows Rock Slide.
Yeah, I. That's what I thought. Because like whenever you get up to it, aren't you like don't you have like dodge the boulders that are coming down
Yeah,
too?
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
which makes
Yeah.
sense with its hidden ability,
Yeah. Increase power Rock type moves by 50%.
which is dumb because it's its hidden ability. You think with the setup for that and the amount of rock type moves it's able to learn, this would be a regular ability.
How many Rock
Yeah.
type moves can this thing learn?
Like that's interesting. That basically gives it like three types because that's almost the same as getting stab.
That is true.
Yeah,
Uh, but as
I
well,
mean,
if you
it
do,
gets rock throw, rock tomb, and then rock slide as its learn set.
Yeah.
yeah, but what other ones can it learn? I see it can.
Rock blast, power gem.
Power Gem's
Ooh,
It can set up
power
with
gem's
stealth
good.
rocks. That's interesting. Stone edge. There you go.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Stone
yeah,
Wow,
Edge.
that's
that
what you
would
want right
hit.
there.
That would hit heavy.
I'm
Yeah, that
pretty
would
sure.
hit so hard.
Yeah, this thing would be good for that, but it has a lower end speed total. It has a really good attack stat, I think, for like
Yeah.
a single stage Pokemon.
Yeah, but that's all it's got going again.
That is all it has going for it.
Speed, you're gonna need to like focus that speed if you want it to be outspeeding anything. You're gonna have to
Yeah,
heavily invest in that.
you do.
Yeah. I mean, setting up a Tailwind couldn't be bad for it at least, boost that up a little bit.
Right.
I agree, but yeah, then as well, if you run Tailwind on this thing, you have to pray that this thing survives.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's
It's
basically another
okay.
gimmick Pokemon. I kinda wanna put it below Earthworm.
Yeah, I feel like
I'll agree
high
to that.
V is fair for this thing. Could be good enough.
Squawkaville.
I wanna
I
put this thing at
actually
least C. I don't wanna talk about anything above.
I can agree with that, but I read about some stuff about Squawkaville and I actually know some things about them.
What
Their
do you
I
know?
know
Pokédex
the first thing.
their Pokédex entries is the green one here that they have like they are like the most influential one because they have the biggest numbers. The blue ones here are actually jealous of the green ones because of how many numbers it has. The yellow ones here are actually the most violent of the group, being able to actually fight against Pokemon like Talonflame and Corviknights.
Oh.
And the white one just want to chill with people.
Oh, okay.
It's just kind of vibe.
Actually, they have different abilities. They have
Yeah,
different
they
hidden
also have
abilities.
different
I
base stat
didn't I
totals.
didn't notice that.
Yeah,
Wait,
wait,
Oh,
they also.
interesting.
do they?
Oh no, I was mistaken.
Oh
I
no,
was
not with
looking
that.
at the.
It's the
I was looking at
abilities
the
though.
Salt
That's
Rock.
Still though, like in intimidate, hustle, guts, intimidate, hustle, sheer force, intimidate, hustle, sheer force.
the hidden
Yeah,
abilities
sheer
amazing.
force.
Of course, you can never go wrong with guts or sheer force as an
Yeah,
ability.
both
Or
solid always.
intimidate either.
Yeah,
But like
intimidate's
it has a
definitely good.
really
That's
low base
great,
stat total.
but its actual base stat total just
Yeah. I feel like
ugh.
Squawkabilly would be really good for an early game mod. That's it.
Yeah, it's kind of like Chatot, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
where it's decent enough in the early game, but like later on, it's just not worth trying to use.
Right.
I agree with that. I think I agree with Ty here whenever he said C tier.
Yeah, I think the lore behind them is pretty cool.
I like the lore.
I'm gonna put the white and yellow above the other two because of the I think Sheer Force is a better ability than Guts, in my
I
opinion.
get
Yeah,
that.
I think so.
There is a difference there.
Yeah.
Now,
Flamigo.
Flamingo.
Flamigo.
Flamigo. I
The
believe it's like
availability for this thing is amazing.
it is. It's a flying site. It's a flying fighting type.
You get it straight off the rip too. Like you
Yeah.
can find
It's
this as
so
soon as you
early.
get out.
I mean, I think
This
it's the
thing.
second area you explore you're able to find this thing.
Yeah. This thing
Yeah, and it's
actually like
stout.
it has Scrafty, Carvert, Tangled Feet. The Tangled Feet is one I got. I used this thing for a hot minute.
Co-Star is
And
an amazing ability. It will
yeah.
copy its allies' stat changes. So if you're setting up in a double battle, you can send this homeboy out with a possible speed boosted Pokemon and copy that speed boost.
I
That's
mean,
Maybe
like
it's
yeah,
been
that
two
best
is
for doubles.
turns.
that is really good. And plus as well, this
Imagine
thing's
using that
attack.
and the Kilowattrel in a double.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah, that would really work.
yeah, I think that would be a really good
Well, that would be
tag
That'd be
special
team.
attack
tough.
though. It wouldn't be as good with that.
Yeah, but like if you're setting up for the speed though.
Setting up for speed it would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Plus
think
as
this thing
well,
can set up its own speed with Tailwind too.
yeah, plus as well
Yeah.
with the flying fighting type, that's really good. The only other flying fighting type I believe we have is Halucha.
Yeah. It's a cool type. I mean Haluchas use
Really
it to
good.
great effect
There
in
it is,
competitive.
Tailwind. And I can learn Liquidation. That's interesting.
Oh,
Oh,
liquidation.
it has a
Liquidation.
really big learn set. Oh no, that's not its learn set. That's its TM's moves. My bad.
I mean
That was
still.
TMs.
Brave Bird.
Yeah,
White
Brave Bird will
Guard.
hit like a truck off this thing.
I love how this thing learns Throat Chop though. That's interesting. I can't imagine a
Its
freaking
best fighting type
Flamigo.
move it learns by level up though is double kick.
Yeah, that's kind of bad, but like the TMs make up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you've got a Pokemon that's secondary type, it learns only one move that's the
It
same
learns
type as
two.
it.
It learns double kick and it learns low
Oh, my
kick.
bad. Low kick too. But still, those are
Yeah,
very
low kick's not
underwhelming.
bad.
But low kick, I feel I would rather go with double kick than low kick.
Nah,
But
I would go with low kick.
but if we look at the TM things, I'm pretty sure this thing has to know close combat.
Yep, there it is.
Yep. Close combat.
I was gonna say, man, it's not showing up, but it's one of the last ones.
Plus as well, you
Yeah.
were talking about using it for double battles. Wide guard would definitely make it possible.
Definitely.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
this thing's definitely made for double battles.
100%.
Yeah, it's a pretty good mon, like solid overall. I feel like, and when you get it super early in the game, it just kind of feels overpowered.
Agreed.
Well, that's
I
because of
feel
that
like
doggone base stat total.
oh
It
yeah.
is a very strong Pokemon to have that early. I mean, imagine having a Hawlucha that early in X and Y.
Yeah. But also
Right.
that's also the thing you have to think about. That early also hang on. This thing was Larry's second ace, and I have to respect that.
Yeah. Respect Larry.
Respect Larry, he's best. A tier behind Kilowattrel.
Behind Kilowattrel?
I just think it's super solid, dude. Like I don't feel like it deserves A tier 100%, like up
Yeah.
there. I can't argue with that placing.
Yeah, it's not the greatest thing ever, but it's definitely a solid mod. You can't go wrong, using it.
Yeah, viability wise too, like in a playthrough, like you can catch it so early. Like why would you not want to use it?
And you're
it's
gonna have
so
a great
easy.
time
I
with
mean,
it.
the only
Yeah.
reason I didn't use it is because I was using a Talonflame at the moment, and I like
Yeah,
Talonflame.
my starter was gonna be a fighting type, so that's why I didn't use it.
Fair.
I just didn't think it was gonna amount to much. I definitely overlooked this Pokemon.
The
Before
diamond
we,
in the rough, it really is.
I just want to just do one thing. I'm just gonna type on Discord. Oh no, Axel, we're reacting to Claw.
Yeah, this is Axel's like favorite Pokemon from this region.
Cloth. There it is.
Anger Shell is like a neat ability, honestly.
It is. Plus, as well, the one thing you also need to think about is Anger Shell's a really good ability where it makes sure it isn't hit about super effect, like crits or anything, which actually takes away from my Masquerada's secondary effect, but as well it's going to be hit with stab super effective damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
It has a decent attack and a defense stat.
It does have
It
good
like
in both of those, but that's
he's
kind of
actually
it.
Captain.
Had to sleep, but I heard someone not want me to talk about Clough.
Yeah,
Special guest Axel.
special guest Axel. I meant that as a joke, but I guess he's not here. Axel, we're like
Ranking off.
ranking Pokemon, and we got the cloth, and I was like, well, it's your favorite Pokemon in this generation. What do you think about it?
Well, his design I love just because he's a very ridiculous looking boy. he
Is
He's a
looks
funny
like
man.
he looks like the epitome of the autistic screeching meme to me.
Yo, that's
Oh look, he
shiny.
looks like a Crabrawler and is shiny. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that.
But his trait or his skill or ability, I don't know what it's
Anger
referred
Shell?
to. Yeah, Angry Shell, or as I like to call it, Angie Shell, is the scariest ability I've ever seen since Stamina.
It's definitely a good ability. It's got
Really
great
solid.
ability.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what makes it amazing, though?
What makes it amazing?
It stacks.
Oh?
It
So
stacks.
if you fully heal the Pokemon and he gets brought back down below half, it will trigger again.
Really?
Oh,
That
wow.
actually is
That's
really
interesting.
good.
That's pretty
So he
good.
already
Does it
has
learn like
insanely.
recover?
Yeah, hang on. Check its moveset. Hi.
So normally,
Vice grip.
even it has a pretty good
Ooh, no
defense
speed team.
normally, and it is normally pretty fast compared to a lot of other big Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I
You
mean,
can
You could,
stack it.
so he is just the epitome of a tank, and to say how good he was,
ooh.
I accidentally went against the fire type gang leader as my third opponent in the quest line.
And Cloth carried, didn't he?
He absolutely carried.
I
And he was
guess
like a good 9 levels below.
I guess
Dang.
if what would you put him as in S, A, B, C, D, or F?
I think he definitely would deserve to be A tier or S tier.
I mean, with the ability of being able to stack and stuff, if it got
Does it have
recover,
recovery though?
it
Like,
does
did we
not.
It
see
does
that? It
not.
didn't
There's
have.
no recovery with
Yeah.
it.
Recover,
So
it would
it's
have been S tier.
only. Yeah, it's only really good with that like stacking ability in a casual like playthrough setting because like in a
I
Nuzlocke you
mean,
can't heal during battle, and like Pokemon, in competitive Pokemon you can't heal during battle. It's
Revival
like it's
Blessing.
stacking's moot.
Revival Blessing would be really good with Cloth.
What does it reset when it faints
It's
though?
not gonna. It's gonna reset its
It's
stats
gonna
when it faints,
it
though.
Yeah.
will mostly reset, but I feel like it's though even with that, it's gonna be really good to get that ability off again. I feel like A tier above graveyard. Yeah.
I also see that Smoliv is at A tier, and I'm happy. And
um.
Graveyard.
Yeah, I think that's fine. It's good
Yeah.
Vaughn overall, but I don't know. It's good.
It's not gonna excel, but it's definitely gonna be in like UU easily.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it's cool. It's a cool little dude.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Axel, for coming on and talking about Cloth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
giving us your opinion.
Personal
Appreciate.
experience.
yes. No problem. And also, currently my dog stole my spot in the bed, so now I have to go yell at the dog.
Dang.
Have a good night, man.
We'll see you later then.
See you later. And Claw for the win.
Now we got
We got
the Mario Pokemon.
Naxlastack, Gargant. Yeah, that.
Those
The
guys.
pure rock.
Okay, so I learned something else about these guys' Pokédex entries.
It's a rock.
Naggle's staff, it suffocates its target in salt,
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
great.
but then Graggle thing apparently uses the salt to heal. So it went from violently murdering things with salt to here, let me patch up your scars for you.
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, yeah. Even though I love the design of the final evolution at the first stage. Like, why does it turn into a rock dog?
Whenever it moves in the overworld, the mid stage just kind of fucking glides. Like, it looks like it's a texture. It looks like it should be T-posing.
Oh god.
It does have an interesting signature ability, though. It protects it from status condition, and then because it's a purifying salt, it halves damage from ghost type moves.
Oh, okay, that's
That
pretty
is
cool.
pretty good. No
That is
status moves.
interesting.
No status moves, and ghost types are basically not very effective, which
When you
could
think a
have
lot
like
of
been. Oh,
when you think about ghost types, a lot of them are special attackers, and if they're
true.
gonna use a special attacking move, that's gonna half the damage, and it having lower special
This thing
defense definitely could be
completely
in
oh,
handy.
this thing completely
Yeah,
counters Zero Edge as well.
it does.
It
It just
hard
like straight up
counters it.
mirrors it.
So I feel like the final evolution gets above that just because of that.
Yeah,
But
because like you,
Salt Cure is its signature move, which it gets at its mid stage.
Inflicts damage every turn. Steel and water types are more strongly affected by this move. Interesting.
oh, that's kind of neat.
40 base power.
It's not the best, but
So
like
think
it's
about bind or any other damage over time moves like fire spin, and then just make it 10 times better because of the
yeah.
damage.
Yeah, and its ability is like super solid. Like not being able to hit by status is super good because like
Right.
status is like very common and competitive.
I
Honestly, I
agree
think
with
that's
that.
better than his hidden ability, clear
Clear
body, and
body.
then sturdy. I mean, it has pretty good bulk.
I mean,
Yeah,
Purifying
agreed.
salt, great ability.
probably its best. 100%. I would say.
Absolutely, 100%. Its best ability. No argument.
Yeah, I feel like the final evolution gets put above Cereal Edge at least.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I would we put it above Skull Villain?
No, I feel like Skull Villain's better though.
You think so?
Yeah,
Hmm.
at least that's me. I feel
I
like
feel like
Skull
that's
Villain.
debatable.
Yeah, I kind of think it might be better than Scovillain, honestly.
You think so? I don't think it
The type.
outshines Palmont, but definitely it could outshine in front of Skull Villain.
Scovillain. Yeah,
I
I
get
think
that.
so too.
All right, now these two.
That middle stage is bothering me.
Should we just put the middle stage in F tier? To be honest.
I I don't see anything really appealing about it.
I don't like it either, honestly. It just looks so weird. Like in the overworld, it's just so funny to me to see it like
Yeah.
gliding.
It's just gonna fly. It's just gonna T pose behind us. It's buddies with Jinzo.
Yeah. I feel like top of F's fair enough.
Top of F
Yeah.
at least. And then its
Yeah.
first
And the
stage is just
Mario
odd.
mushroom, I'd say D tier.
Yeah, I mean, you don't the first two stages, you don't look at those and then expect
The final
the final
stage.
evolution.
Yeah.
It's just I see no correlation. Honestly, there's no correlation between any of the stages.
Yeah, it just looks like it turns from a snail to a dog to a dude.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the mushroom stage. I don't because you're thinking about salt water, I believe,
Yeah.
or any type of rock. Like when I think of this Pokemon and then the salty aspects, I think about like an ocean, like slowly deteriorating away a rock formation.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I get out of it. And then I don't see the mushroom or whatever that middle stage is.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah, I think
Uh,
this is probably a fine place to leave it. I mean, we ranked a pretty good amount of Pokemon in this one. I'd say probably about as much as we did in the last one, right?
yeah, I think just about.
Roughly.
Like I think we're on a little bit less, But to be fair as well, we did like go through like all the different forms and talk about them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, A tier now has a third row, and C tier and B tier both have a third row,
Yeah.
or second row. I
To,
mean,
to be honest, I
Right.
figured we would have more Pokemon in F tier than in S tier.
I did
nah,
too, honestly. I was kind of surprised that we didn't like hate on a lot of Pokemon. I mean, I didn't
I
really,
mean, I
I
tried to.
didn't, I didn't expect to like see F tier or not F tier, S tier being as big as it is. Like I felt like we were gonna have way less Pokemon in S tier, but there's just so many good ones that this game introduced.
there
100%. And we're
are.
not even done with that.
Yeah, like we have a lot more to go, and like I'm sure once we get into the Paradox forms, the S tier is gonna get bigger.
S tier is gonna have at least a third row.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of them are gonna go into S.
it's gonna get huge, and like the legendaries, you
Oh, we
know,
got a lot
like
to talk about with the legendaries.
all right. Well, if you guys enjoyed that video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and do all the things to all of our channels to stay up to date with all of our, videos and things of that nature. And of course, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next part.
Heck
See ya.
yeah. See ya.